Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Online OffStream Podcast. We're here, we're queer, we're on our fifth episode. I'm
Let's
Razzie,
go.
and I'm here with.
Estella, hi
Hello,
everyone.
everybody. Welcome back to another one. It's Wednesday.
Episode 5.
Woohoo!
Let's
Yippee!
go.
Cue party music. Pew, 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 pew.
Dun, 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 dun. Woohoo. Clearly, we've had a very interesting week. And so we're both a little slap happy, a little excited, a little hyper.
We were just talking about tops and
Um,
bottoms right before this.
we were talking about full party mode,
Yeah.
that we are preparing to go into. So, getting crazy, getting wild.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of a sloppy top or a sloppy bottom. Just got to clean them at some
Absolutely
point.
not. Just gotta keep them clean and make sure that you're treating them well. That's my my thought. Anyway, hi everyone.
Hi, welcome. We're here.
We're
We're
here.
recording another
It's
episode.
funny. Last week our episode went up and we got some lovely, lovely messages from some of our closest, dearest friends, saying just how much they're enjoying the podcast, and that was so sweet. And it's so nice to be able to like sit down and chat and be silly, goofy, and the fact that it's being received well by everyone. So thanks,
Yes.
everyone.
Yeah. No, literally. I love and I will always talk about how much I love seeing everybody's like love and support for the podcast and how much they're enjoying it. So thank you for
Mhm.
listening to it, and thank you for just like taking the time out of your day to just listen to literally Estella and I just yap away about things.
We're just yapping.
We're having so much fun with it. Like I truly
Yeah.
love hanging out with you and just like talking. Like
Oh.
Estella and I will have pre-conversations prior to actually recording our episode. Like
Yeah.
right before we recorded this, we were talking for a good while. Um
Yeah.
and then sometimes we'll just have like midweek checkups where
Yeah.
we'll just talk with each other and catch up about things, which is so nice.
It's so
Um
nice.
so it's like, you know, you'd think with how much we talk, we'd run out of stuff to talk about, but we never do.
We
We
never
never do.
do. It's so nice.
Life has been pretty eventful that we
Yeah,
kind of always have stuff to talk about.
definitely. I love the fact that though even when things have been on the more calm side, like we just start talking and then it leads to conversation. It flows very naturally.
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel like the podcast is just like an extension of that. The only difference is that we're a little bit more aware, I guess, of as we're saying things
Oh,
to not
literally.
like spill piping hot tea, which last episode I know we were borderline on spilling some piping hot tea. And
Do, do, do,
uh,
do.
for those of you who don't know, when we are recording the podcast, we're on a video call, so we can
Hmm.
see each other's faces, we
Yeah,
see each other's reactions,
yeah,
and the way that, that both of us were like, how do we explain this story without dropping names?
yeah.
I think we did a very good job,
Oh,
personally.
absolutely. I agree. Yeah.
But it was just funny because after the call, we were like,
Well, I
we
mean,
were talking
like,
about the same situation.
we stop. The fact that as soon as we stopped recording, I was like, "So, who are you talking about? Because I'm talking
Exactly.
about these people."
Yeah, it was just so funny.
Yeah.
um, Yeah, I
It,
feel like the podcast though is just like an extension of our like normal conversations. We're just like a little bit more aware of like details, I guess.
yeah. Also, like, yeah, it is an extension of us just like talking, but also I don't know why, but like knowing that like we're recording and that this is like live and people are gonna listen to it, my whole like production side comes out, and it's like I feel
Yeah,
like I gotta be like more production version of myself instead of just like casual, but I also am being casual at the same time. Like
yeah.
it's weird. I feel
I
like I have
think
to
it's a
put on this whole
midpoint,
like zhuzh yourself up.
right? I definitely think it's a midpoint level for me because like when we're just talking and it's just the two of us, I think I'm a little bit more chill. But then obviously, like, mic is on and hot, like, I get a little bit more animated,
Yeah.
but not as animated as I do on camera, like on
Right.
stream. So I think it's about a midpoint where I'm like, I still have the showbiz sparkle a bit, but
Yeah.
it's still like
Not like
so much more
stream
chill.
level.
Exactly. I think the
Yeah.
same for you too, though. Like, I think you're not like overly animated where it's like
No. Yeah, I'm
crazy.
so much more chill here on this podcast than I would be like on stream.
Yeah.
But then like just a casual like hangout, I'm pretty like maybe I am the same. I was gonna say I'm a little bit more quieter, but I don't know, maybe I am the
I wouldn't
same.
say you're quieter. I think just our energy is just like a little bit more like we sit back in our chairs, not as leaning forward, if that makes
True.
sense.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You don't really just like, you're not like quiet, like when we're talking and stuff. Like,
Right.
you're still very like an animated person, but I think, yeah, I think when we're podcasting, it's a little bit more zoned in.
Podcasting.
I know, because we're
Oh my
professionals.
god, we're professional
Podcasting.
podcasters. Okay, today at work, I like literally just thought of this. I'm like, this is perfect for the podcast. Today at work, one of my coworkers, like, we're all having casual conversation, and she yells from across the room, and she's like, Razzie, do you want to be famous? Obviously, she didn't say Razzie, but would you want to
Yeah.
be famous, or do you want to be famous? And I'm like, no. Only you knew what I was doing
On the
online.
off time, quote unquote.
Yeah, on the off time.
That is so funny. It is interesting though to think about like the people who know us offline who only know us in the context. Did you know the context? We all
Yeah,
have a coconut tree. Um, in the context that they meet us in, that like when you start talking to other people who know you in other places, that when they ask those kinds of questions about like being known or like having any kind of recognition, you're like, ooh, but actually I do have
yeah,
like a community that I've built or a fan base, if you will, or like they only see us in that one lens.
yeah. It's
Um,
like I actually have a following online. I run a Discord server. I've got
yeah,
like 4 or 5 social media accounts that I'm running. So,
yeah.
but
I mean,
no, I
it's so
don't
funny.
want to be famous. That's crazy.
No, well, I think there's a difference between being known and being famous.
True, I agree.
Also, so I don't know. I think it depends, but it's funny. I actually met a new neighbor who just moved into my building, and they were super, super sweet and like very lovely. I don't really talk to that many people in the building. Like, I just kind of keep it to myself, and that's just what LA as a whole is in a lot of ways. Is everybody just kind of keeps to themselves for the most part.
Hmm.
But I was talking to this new neighbor who moved in. They were like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I'm like, how do I answer this question? I'm like, because I'm a video game streamer, but it's so much more than video game streaming.
Yeah.
That it's like I'm a streamer, but I'm not like a like OF content streamer, which a lot of people immediately jump to.
I told a
Um,
coworker, like, because they were like, "Oh, what do you like to do?" Like, I have brought it up to somebody. I can't remember who though. Um, I think it was like my supervisor now, but was my coworker at the time. But she
okay.
probably forgot. But at the time they were like, like, what do you like to do on your free time and stuff like that? And I'm like, oh, I like to like content create, like YouTube videos and stuff. But I just said content create, and one of my other coworkers looked at me and they were like that kind of content. I'm like, no,
My God,
no.
yeah. That's the first thing that like when I talk about content creation or streaming,
Who do you
they
think I am,
immediately
Dan
jump to
Benson?
the who do you think I am?
content, content. Estella sent me
Content.
a TikTok the other day of Dan Benson, and it was like, it was a little skit, and Dan Benson was playing this random person, being like, "Oh my God, you're Dan Benson. I'm a big fan of you," and so Dan's like, oh yeah, did you watch Wizards of Waverly
Was
Place?
Waverly Place.
And they're like, no. Oh, so you follow my TikTok? No.
No.
And then Dan's like, no, 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 please no. And the person
That
like,
would be so
yeah,
wild.
yeah,
That would be so wild to meet somebody who like purchases your OF content
right.
in person.
Oh my god. Like
I
I don't know
anxiety.
if I were to ever do that content, which I don't, I will not. But like, if I was that person and I ran into somebody that like subscribed to that, I don't know how I would react.
The like anxiety and panic that I
Right?
think would like be felt. Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know. I have so much respect for OF creators. Like go off, like get the money, do what you got to do, like slay. Love that for you. I personally know I couldn't do that.
No.
But the amount of people that assume that that's what I do upon like first conversation or first glance at different things, it's like there was actually an old family friend who I posted something about going live and they saw my Instagram story and they're not very like tech aware, but they've just got Instagram, so they saw that and they texted my mother being like, is Estella creating like OnlyFans content on?
No. Oh my
And she
god.
was like, no. Like,
Oh
what do
my
you
god.
mean? No. So I don't know. It's one of those like I have to figure out how to explain what I'm doing, and that's why I've started saying like video game streamer.
Yeah.
Like
That's a really good
put
way
a
to
little
put it though. I've
context.
never thought to put it that way. Cuz I'm always like I'm a
I
content creator.
yeah. I mean it's not exactly what I do. I mean I play video games, yes, but like I feel like it's the safe way to just like calm the jumps to conclusions. I guess people
Yeah.
automatically have,
Yeah, I
but
agree cuz like you say content and people think immediately like OnlyFans
spicy
and it's like
content. Yeah.
yeah. It's like nope. That is not what we're doing. We
No,
are more wholesome than that.
to a certain degree. To a certain degree, I think
To a
so.
certain degree. Yeah, exactly. We're not crazy lewd individuals.
No, no. But I love that your coworker was like, "Do you want to be
Yeah,
famous?"
literally, like, I just, in my head, I was laughing because I'm just like, if only you knew. Crazy
What did
part
you say
two is that,
back?
she was like, do you want to be famous? And I just yelled back, I was like, nope, and then just continued working.
Fair, fair. Shut that ish down
You don't need to know I'm
immediately.
Superman. Literally feels like that in the moment.
That's so
I have like a
funny.
superhero identity. I'm doing a secret thing after work that people don't
I
know
love
about.
that. It's like the
Um,
guy, the pommel horse guy from the US Olympic team, who's like this super like awkward like gamer boy type who wears little glasses and then he like takes his glasses off and he's like super buff and like does the pommel horse thing.
I've never seen
Anyway,
that.
I think his name is like Steven. I'll have to send you some of
Yeah,
his
please do. Oh my
videos.
god. Hey, Steven. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure I told one of my coworkers though, because like I've talked about it before, how there's two people on my shift that I'm like pretty close with.
Yeah.
Um, I would never give them the name of my channel, like my username.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I've told one of them because she also plays video games every now and then. But I'm pretty sure I told her uh,
Okay.
that I do like stream and then just kind of left it out there when I had quit the job. And then
That's
I'm like,
fair.
now that I'm back, hopefully she's forgotten.
I mean, I feel like time moves forward, time passes. You never know.
Yeah,
There's a
who
lot of
knows?
information that gets put into people's brains. I don't think it'll be an issue.
Yeah.
Um, but I also I just sent you the longest link ever to be created. A direct link to the Google page for um the pommel horse Olympian.
Okay, I do.
Stephen Nadorisic, I think is how you say it. But he won
Oh,
two
he's
bronze.
cute.
Yeah, he won 2 bronze medals at the Olympics this year. Um, and they've been calling him like Clark Kent.
Have they really?
Yeah, because he's like sweet little guy with the glasses, and then he takes his glasses and his jacket off, and he's like killing it.
He's
But
very
anyway,
adorable. I found a
yeah,
video. I don't know if they're gonna show like him. Oh, he's a um gymnastics person. Yeah.
a gymnast.
That.
he's he's a gymnast on the pommel horse, which is the like
Oh,
the
the balance beam?
no the pommel
Oh.
horse. The balance beam is a different thing, babes.
Oh. I think we found our viral moment.
If it were the balance beam, I would have said balance beam. Oh my god.
But then what's the pommel horse?
So the pommel, like I'm a gymnast and I know, definitely not. But from my understanding, the pommel horse is like it's made of the same material as the balance beam, where it's like wooden leather, and it's like kind of like a log, and it has 2 handles on it. And they essentially do like a routine only using their hands, where they like
Where they have to like spin around.
spin, yeah, spin and
Oh.
flex on it without like using like only on their arms essentially, and so they can't like use
Oh.
their legs or their. It's all upper body strength.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
yeah,
not the balance beam.
not the balance beam. I appreciate the
it's
effort, but
it's
not
the
the
thing
balance
that
beam.
has like the handles beside them.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and
Where
then
it looks like they're
they
breaking
let
dancing
go
in
and
the
like
air.
exactly.
That. Okay. Got it.
Yeah,
Got it. Now I know.
yeah. Fun, learn something new every day.
Not the balance beam, babes.
Not the balance beam, babe.
Incredible. That's so funny.
That's a moment.
We're going to have plenty of moments here. So, hey,
Definitely.
if you're listening and you want to clip these moments, please do somehow. I don't know
Yes.
how you would clip a podcast, but
I'm
absolutely do it.
if you know how to, feel free to do so and send it to us.
Send it to us, yes, at Online OffStream Podcast on Twitter.
Let's go. Let's go. That
So,
is so funny.
today's episode is actually an episode that we were originally going to have posted previously.
Yes.
But since I had made my grand mistake of not recording our audio,
Which was very unfortunate, but not the end of the world.
yeah, we're here now recording. I don't want to say we're re-recording because this is completely
No.
different than how we had that original podcast episode planned.
Yes.
But here we are asking questions to each other again. So we're going to be doing a little bit of like a Q&A episode where we have questions for each other. We're going to be asking each other questions and just chatting about things. And then just going from there, having conversations like based off of these questions that we have for each other.
Yep.
Yeah. And
I
I
think
have,
yeah, it's definitely not a re-record. It's an updated, newer version that will actually get posted. So, all is
yes,
well.
it'll actually get posted. It's funny though, because like when we recorded that episode, we had like really lengthy conversations with some of these questions. And then
Yeah.
like I'm actually kind of glad that we are redoing this
Hmm.
because I love our answer to my second question. It's so
Okay.
good. And when people listen to it, I really hope that you all listening have the same answer to us. Like, please let us know what your answers are going to be to these questions too, because we would absolutely love to
Yes.
know. But hopefully some of these answers match with ours, and I'm very excited to see what people have in store for
And
us.
I'm over here with the memory of a goldfish, not remembering what question two was. So it'll be another authentic moment. 'Cause, but yes, please share your answers. We'd love to know. Because I think both of us
Mhm.
have some pretty fun questions.
Yes. Yeah. And so, I don't know who wants to start. Do you want to start? Shall I start?
Um, well, I'll go first with this one because I think it's gonna be a fairly short answer.
Okay.
And then we can go from
We'll
there.
do like one
Um,
you, one me, one you, one me.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sounds good to me.
Let's do it. I'm
Um,
excited.
okay, so question one. The reason I added this one was because we are doing a lot of like online shopping for TwitchCon and like picking out like outfits and accessories and fun stuff. And in the process of me doing the shopping, I've bought some really crazy, wacky things. I have to be honest. Like super random things that I do not need. So my question is, what's the most random thing that you've bought online?
Oh. Oh. The most random thing I've
Or
bought
silly, or I don't
online.
know.
The most I buy a lot of things. But I'm just like, do I need this? Do I not need this? So I don't know. I'm looking around my room right now, just thinking like, what have I bought? Okay. I don't know if this one counts. I can think of
Okay.
something, and now I feel like I'm just overthinking this question. I bought. Now that I think about that, I'm going to talk about this. This sounds so weird, but I bought a face scrubber. It's an electronic face scrubber that you can charge, and you push the button and it vibrates. So it's supposed to like massage the stuff
I
into
have
your
one of
face.
those too.
I don't know if it actually works.
Well,
I haven't used it in a really
debatable.
long time, but also it looks like a vibrator.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if you
Yeah.
have the same one I have. It's kind of shaped like
Oh. No, mine doesn't look like that.
I wonder. Okay, I want to grab it. I want to grab it. Okay, I'm gonna grab
Okay,
it. I'm gonna
go
grab it, and I'm
grab
gonna
it.
show it to you,
I'll
and you're gonna
babysit.
see. Yeah. Okay. Babysit the
Okay,
podcast.
I'll babysit the podcast. Hi, podcast. Oh, that is so funny. Okay, face scrubbers to me. I'll go on a little scrubber rant for like 2 seconds. Oh my gosh, Razzie, it does really look like a vibrator. Oh my gosh, that's wild. That's wild.
Doesn't it look like a vibrator? It's crazy.
That's
It's
insane.
not charged. If it was charged, I would turn it on. It like vibrates like very
Yeah.
powerfully.
So I think I have the same brand, but it's not that shape.
Maybe yours is like an updated model because I bought this like a couple years ago.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this
Um,
back. But yeah,
okay.
vibrator face washer.
Vibrator face washer, that's fair. So my brief rant on a vibrating face washing tool is that I feel like it feels nice, but it's not necessary. I feel like it's like a luxury random item. Um, like that it's not like a need, but it's cute and fun.
Yeah,
So I'll show you the one that I have.
absolutely not like a need, but it's just like something that you want. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think because I feel like everything I've bought has had some use or purpose to it.
Hmm.
And so I can't think of anything I've really bought that was just kind of like random or not
That
needed.
is, I mean, that's a pretty random thing, though. So I think that was a good choice.
If it fails as a face washer, it's perfect as a vibrator.
Exactly. Options.
Okay, let me see this one that you have.
So mine, not sponsored, but mine was from Foreo, and it's basically like a little, like a cotton round
Oh.
size of a face wash
But you know
massager, and
what?
it's like a,
That looks like a vibrator too.
oh, it definitely does.
Can I tell everyone what it's called? It says it right here. Even the name
Even the
of it.
cleansing massager,
No.
Play Plus 2. Play Plus 2
Luna.
facial
It's called
cleansing massager.
it's called Luna.
Oh
It's
my
called
god.
I can't even say it. It's called the Luna Play Plus 2. But
The
it
cleansing massager.
looks like a vibrator. Why is it called Play Plus?
You know, I'm not sure.
Why
But
couldn't it just be Luna
the Luna
Luna
massage, like
face
facial
cleansing massager?
yeah.
Like Play Plus. So you could use it more than just a facial cleansing massager.
It's a 2-for-1.
That's, that's why I need to stop. That's
And
why
cut.
it's the Pay Plus 2.
Exactly. 2-for-1, 2 uses. For that amount of money though, use it wherever you want. That's my
Oh
call.
yeah, absolutely. I
Like I
just
think that counts as a random thing you've bought for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would say so. I do have like 4 webcams laying around in my room
Oh, just laying around.
because I have a really bad habit of being like, I have this item. I have been introduced to a better version of this item. Let me buy this better version. I've also done that with
Mm,
desks. I've bought 3 desks within the span of like a month and a half before.
like actual
Like
desk.
computer desks, yeah.
Oh. I mean, I feel like part of though like being a content creator, being a streamer, like you're always looking for how to upgrade your setup.
Yeah.
So I feel like the webcam thing, if it's like, oh, to get a better webcam, then I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like if it were like repeats of the same webcam,
That would be
then
a little bit
I'd be more
problematic.
concerned. I'd definitely be more concerned than like upgrades
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I eventually want to upgrade my desk, but I'm not doing that because I'm going to save up for a standing desk at some point because my next desk that I
Ooh,
buy myself is going to be a standing desk for sure.
they look so cool.
I
Like,
love standing desks because like I really want to just stream and like stand up while I'm streaming, or even like if
mhm,
I'm working at home I just want to stand for a little bit instead of sitting all the time.
yeah,
So that's going to be like my next super big investment purchase.
that's a smart one.
Yeah.
That's a really smart one. Because then it's like, I think, shout out again to another amazing creator, Gnome Finder. Gnome has a standing
Yeah.
desk.
Oh my god,
And
like
every time I see her stream and use that, I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
I just
And
saw a
like,
clip
oh,
from Gnome
impressive.
today, Gnome Finder, where I was scrolling through Twitter and they posted a clip of beating an ice dragon or something from their stream.
Hmm.
Um and like they were standing while doing it. And I'm like, "Oh my god, standing desk. I want a standing desk."
Yeah. I feel like that would be really nice, especially for long streams. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I think
perfect.
that would be really cool.
Yeah. Especially like when we're sitting down all day and stuff like that. We just want to stand up every now and
Yeah,
then.
definitely.
So yeah.
Good
Um
answers.
I have a question. Mine is also
Okay.
just like I'm gonna start off with like very simple questions and then mine kind of get heavier.
Okay.
But my first question is very simple. How long do you think you'd survive in a zombie apocalypse? Apocalypse? So zombie apocalypse?
That's a good question. I feel like I think I remember my answer a little bit because
Hmm.
I feel like I've answered this question in various places. And it's all kind of led to the same thing, where it's like depending on depending on the context, right? If I'm with Mama Melon, that has its own story and playthrough.
Yeah.
If I'm by myself, that's its other thing, you know? I don't think I would do very well in the zombie apocalypse. I'm not a person to like want to live in a bunker and eat canned tuna. Like that's
Yeah.
just not me at all.
Mm-mm.
So I feel like if I were by myself, I feel like I would maybe just like hide in the house that I was in until they found me. You know what I mean?
Survive for as long as you can, but then when the end comes, just accept.
Okay.
Goodbye. Thanks.
If I were with Mama Melon, I think we would do our best to like flee and hide and survive to the best of our ability. But if she goes, I go. Like that's very much the
You ride or
situation.
die.
My ride or die. Like if she goes, I go. Like I'm sorry, I'm not surviving the zombie apocalypse and watching my mother be like attacked by zombies, and
Yeah.
I'm surviving
Mm-mm.
that. So I think either way, it ends up with me like turning into a zombie. But
Yeah.
it just, I think I would survive in some ways longer by myself because I would just wait for them to like, you know, knock
Knock
at the
on
door.
your door. Hello, housekeeping.
Housekeeping. Um, but yeah, I feel like if it were about protecting like obviously my family, I think I would do my best to survive as long as possible until fate ended up intervening
Hmm.
and you know I think we'd make it to season 3 of Walking Dead if it were the two of us together. If it was just me, I wouldn't even be in the pilot. That's
You'd be
that's
one of
the
the
story.
zombies in the pilot.
Exactly.
um,
Exactly. How about you?
I I I don't know. I feel like if like you, if I was by myself, I was hopeful, I think I could survive for a little bit and try to like survive until the end. Um, but if it was a situation where it's like all of my loved ones are gone and like it's too much, then I'm just like, take me. I
Yeah.
can't. I can't. I would give up. I'm
Yeah.
like, I have no fight left in me. Just end it all.
Yep. Agreed. 100%.
Yeah. I remember
That's a
though,
good question.
talking about this, I remember we kind of got a little bit more like in depth about it because we both don't like zombies. We talked about
Yeah.
on the episode where the audio
Yeah.
was lost.
I went into my deep long story and history with zombie.
Yeah, so I was wondering, like, do you want to bring that up again? Do you remember, like,
I'm
because I remember you were saying that like you've been doing stuff for so long it kind of affected you mentally, and I think that's like
yeah.
perfect for the podcast for people to hear that.
Yeah, I'm down to talk about it. So, something that a lot of people may know if you've come from my stream community, but I feel like a lot of people at this point who maybe just follow me on Instagram or socials and don't really know kind of my background. I was a special effects makeup artist for six years, like pretty much hardcore, doing a lot of prosthetics and creature makeup and character creation. So a lot of my background comes in with being trained on how to make injuries and make zombies. And that was basically my entire, like, that was my bread and butter for many years. And that was a primary focus for me. But specifically around the pandemic, when, obviously a lot of my loved ones and a lot of people were being affected by COVID and passing, and it was a very traumatic time for a lot of us. It kind of gave me a lot of pause in and reflection time to look at what I was doing. And all I could think about was kind of what is a zombie?
Hmm.
And zombie is a person who doesn't get to die, who has been infected by something, and that is something that they now have to live with, even if they are dead. And that destroyed me thinking about it like that.
It's a heavy thing to
And
think about.
it is, and especially like peak pandemic times,
Yeah.
pandemic was a very dark time for a lot of us.
Super dark time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it felt like the end of the world.
It really did, and especially with like lockdown and kind of seeing all of the streets bare, it felt very post-apocalyptic.
Hmm.
Um, and so I was kind of thinking about like what my life was going to look like after such a global tragedy, and all I could think about was the pain of a zombie and that I was part of the problem. I was very much creating these characters who, were the ones being like beaten up because they were zombies and they were, the bad, evil, scary character. Um, when in reality, like as I'm making that zombie, it's like that person's wearing a wedding ring because they had a family, XYZ. That
Hmm.
was what I was seeing. And so I'm kind of had to make the choice of like, do I want to continue creating upset and sadness and continue this world of pain? Or do I want to step back and kind of reflect and see what else I can do with my creativity?
Right.
And that was a hard decision for me to make. But zombies were my livelihood. And the more and more I thought about it, the more and more upset I was getting, and um, the more heartbreak I was witnessing in the world, the more it made me not want to create it for film and television.
Yeah.
And yes, I think art can bring real life things to discussion, and it absolutely has a place in this world. But I was just so overstimulated and oversaturated with heartbreak that I just could not. I could not be the person to like continue to create it. Um, so yeah, I have a very intense up and down relationship with zombies. um, because I feel like it was such a big part of my life that now, like being on the other side of it, I've not been, on a film set in that way in coming up on a little over a year and a half now, which is pretty
Damn.
crazy. Like being in with prosthetics and, blood and gore and violence. Um, haven't been on set in that way, and I haven't made anything relating to zombies, like physically creating it, for about 6 months.
Oh wow.
So like being kind of on the other side of it, it's like, oh, this is actually, it's nice to not feel the constant dread of and despair of a zombie emotional story. Because they're not just like evil, scary characters. They're humans who don't get to move on, and that stuck with me, and that was a hard thing to kind of process through, but it made a big difference in my now mental health of like, I'm not contributing to the hell and terror
Yeah.
of some of the film and TV industry. Not to say that it doesn't have its place, and if people like zombies, live your life, but it couldn't be mine anymore. So
Yeah. Yeah, no.
yeah.
And here I am just with like I don't like zombies because they're icky.
Well, they're icky and gross,
But
absolutely, and
also
that's fair in
like
itself.
yeah, like the whole thing of like a zombie being a person who was alive and like
Mm-hmm.
living their life and stuff like that has now become like this mindless creature kind of thing. Like it's just
Yeah,
weird. I don't know. I really don't like the concept of zombies at all. It's just like
it's so
too
sad.
mentally like stimulating.
Yeah. I think actually when we talked about this in the past also, I mentioned The Last of Us and how much I really appreciated the work that was done in The Last of Us to
Hmm.
make it known that these, even though they're not zombies, they are, they are the infected or whatever, the clickers, if you will. They make a very clear point in both the game, but very much so in the show, that like these were people. And I have so much respect for both the makeup team and the writers of the Last of Us show, because they make that point over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
They show the true like human pain alongside the scary monster of the whole zombie stuff. They make it about that even though they are scary creatures, they are human. They have a story. They feel things, and it's not their fault that this happened.
Right.
So I have a lot of respect for that because otherwise I won't watch zombie shows like at all. But I will watch The Last of Us. Besides the fact that Pedro Pascal is in there.
Oh,
Besides that,
oh, Pedro, Pedro, Pedro,
we
Pedro.
love Pedro.
We
We love
are down
Pedro
bad for Pedro.
very. But yeah, no, I zombies are disgusting and gross. But
Yeah,
yeah, the human side of it is, I find it very sad.
yeah.
So
Very like heart-wrecking for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's our take on the zombie apocalypse.
So I have a question
Hmm.
for you. So this is my next question, if you will, where it's, what are your top 3 content goals? Not necessarily with a timeline or a time limit. What are just kind of those like those things that you think about in your content that you're almost as like a manifestation moment of like, what do you want to see for you in the content space?
I would say like number one of like something that I want to see like for myself in my content space is to just like constantly and continually making content that makes me happy.
Yeah.
I of course would like to make content that makes other people happy, but content that just makes me happy and at the end of the day kind of thing, right? Because it's just like I am doing this to be a form of entertainment for other people, but I'm also doing this because I truly enjoy it and, like really want to continue to be making content. And at the end of the day, if I'm not happy with it, then I'm not going to be happy with making content. So to just
Yeah.
be able to make content all the time, that's content that I enjoy making all the time. That's goal number one for sure. Number two is I would definitely like to. I've been talking about it. Like I've talked to you about it a couple times. Um, but like a personal goal of mine lately has been to get some sponsorships or like
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote brand deals. So I've
Yeah.
been working on like little side personal projects to try to get that working and get that going. So that's like a goal that I've had very recently. But then also like I've talked about it very briefly on stream a couple times, but I really want to get into voice acting
Yeah.
slash like a little bit of singing is like a different form of content that I really haven't done. I've kind of like dipped my toes into it, but I haven't actually
Mm-hmm.
kind of taken the leap and tried to do anything. So that is like another thing that I really want to do for myself with like content creating is to get into a little bit of voice acting and some singing.
I love that. No, I
Yeah.
think you would do wonderfully with voice acting and of course singing. I mean, we did that Monster Prom collab, and that was just
Yes.
like so much fun. And
Well, so
um,
I have like I have a little audio project that I've been working on. I think I've told you about it. I can't remember if I have. So my goal is to create at least like a minute and a half of
yeah,
a demo reel, like a voice demo reel of myself for myself to kind of advertise myself. And so I only have like a minute ish recorded. So I still need to find like the other 30 seconds, but I haven't worked
hmm
on that project in a really long time. So I just need to like really sit down and record and finish up that project and kind of put it out there. So I've been working on that, and like once that's done, I'm going to like really kind of throw it out there and be like, hey, like let me audition for your project. Here you go. Here's like
yeah, for
what I can
sure.
do. So I'm excited. But the Monster Prom game was so fun because I really enjoy doing stuff like that because it's silly.
hmm
It doesn't need to be serious,
Yeah,
but we can kind of use it as like practice for things
yes,
like voice
yeah.
acting, which I really
No,
enjoy.
it was so much fun, and it was like you were killing it. You were killing it, slaying it. It was a lot of
Thank
fun, and
you.
I see that those doors opening for you 100%.
Yeah, I really need to stop getting into my head about it. Because like I think we kind of talked about it on the last episode of the podcast, but comparing yourselves to other
Yeah.
people, I very much do that when I'm listening to all these other voice actors. Like obviously professional voice actors I really should not be comparing myself to because they've been doing this for years, right?
Right,
But then
yeah.
there's like amateur voice actors that'll listen to their content. I'm like, oh my god, like they're really good. What the hell? Like she's really good.
She's really good.
And so I'll listen to that and then I'll kind of get into my head and then like get worried about like, oh, can I do that level of like talent? I don't
Right.
know. But you never know unless you try. And it's just a matter of
Yeah.
trying. And that's what I really need to do.
Yeah. I definitely see those doors opening. And I mean, I think almost everybody who's listening and anybody who's in the content creator space especially understands like that, slight imposter syndrome
Hmm.
or the comparison. And it's a very human thing. And I definitely see it a lot with our particular, uh group where like all of us feel like we're all trying to fight for ourselves, to advocate for ourselves and be confident in ourselves when there are a lot of things and a lot of factors at play, to keep up our self-esteem and know that like the content that we're making is as valid and as worthy as the people who are either ahead or just different.
Yeah.
So it's all like it's a journey that we all struggle with, but we all are trying to get better at,
Yeah.
you know?
Like, I feel like I do a really good job of pretending that I'm confident,
Hmm.
or making it seem like I'm confident with things where, like, realistically, at the end of the day, I'm really not. I have so much self doubt and, like, things about myself where I'm like, do I deserve this? Did I really work hard enough for this
Hmm.
and stuff like that? But it's very much the like self destroyer in ourselves and imposter syndrome and stuff that comes into play,
Yeah.
and we can't let it affect ourselves.
Yeah, I see that in a lot of us. And like actually I was having this conversation with Mama Melon the other day because there was something that was an opportunity that I was wondering if I should apply to or not. And it all of it sounded really great to me and I was talking to her about it and I was like, I'm just like not confident in that I would get it. And we were talking about kind of how as opportunities come up, you can either take the jump and then see what happens or
Hmm.
not, and you'll never know what the answer is until the end. But something
Yeah.
she's always said to me, and she said it to me literally my entire life, has been confidence comes with skill. And if it's something that I feel like I am qualified for or that aligns with what I want to do,
Hmm.
in those spaces, if I feel like I am skilled enough to talk about XYZ, then I should go for it. And that's where the confidence comes. Whether I get it or not, that's out of my control. But I can only put my best foot forward because I'm confident that I have the skills to back me up.
I really like that.
And
That's good.
I was like, okay, Mama Melon,
Pop
okay,
off, Mama Melon.
pop
Let's
off.
go.
Like she's great. We love her.
I've very recently, like, life's been going by very quickly. Life is being life, right?
Yeah.
But very recently, I've noticed myself doing this thing where if I like my anxiety's peaking a little bit too much, or like my inner voices are being like too crazy, or life's just going
Hmm.
like off the rails, kind of, I kind of like catch myself, take a huge, like, deep breath in, let it
Hmm.
out slowly, and will kind of like repeat in my head like a little like self mantra where it's like, be confident, be confident, confidence is
Hmm.
important, you need confidence, because like part of my job is I have to make a bunch of phone calls a day, right? I have
Hmm.
terrible phone anxiety. I hate phone anxiety, and we're kind of being scored on our well, we are being scored on our phone calls now.
Hmm.
And so it's like, I take pride in my work and I don't want to mess up. So sometimes before I have to make a call, I'll kind of be like, okay, deep breath in, deep breath
Mhm.
out. Just like
Yeah.
steady your breathing, be confident. Confidence is important, and like stay true to yourself, and you got this. And so I like it
Yeah.
really helps. And lately I've just kind of been like practicing that with myself, and I'm really liking how it's like playing out for me.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a little like
Yeah.
self improvement thing that I've been doing.
I like that. I like that a lot. I understand the phone anxiety. Like I had to call. I literally had to call Disneyland the other day because I had like a little bit of an issue with my pass. I was trying to um update a reservation, and it wasn't working on the app,
Oh
and it was
no.
like, we're having a bit of an issue with your pass or whatever. Like, please give our helpline a call or whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I sat there and I'm like, they're gonna tell you have a magical day. They're gonna be nice. There's not a mean person on the other end of the phone. It's gonna be okay. And I'm like calling and I'm like shaking.
Like,
I'm like, Mickey,
hello? Mickey, is
Mickey,
that
is
you?
that you?
Please help me.
Please help me, Mickey. It was fun, but I understand that like panic. So I also just have like a tremendous respect for you making those calls, even though you have the phone anxiety. Like you do it, you push through,
Yeah,
and like yeah, because it's phone anxiety is real, especially calling people you don't know. Like that can be a
super
lot. So
stressful. Yeah. Yeah. But
yeah,
I find like being personable with the call has been helping a lot, which I'm trying to do. So,
yeah,
as much as I don't want to do it while working, kind of helps to
yeah,
get through the workday.
for sure, for sure.
But what about for yourself? What are like three
Three
content
content
creation
goals.
goals?
I 100% agree with your first one as well. Like continue creating content that I'm proud of and that I feel good in.
Mhm.
That brings me joy. Because I think I've talked about it on the podcast a little bit. You know, I took a stream break um now over a year ago. I've officially been back now streaming for just about a year full time
Which
again,
is
which is so
incredible.
nice.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, I took a stream break for my mental health because also life got absolutely insane. And part of it was also that I was feeling like I was stuck in a particular niche and I couldn't break out of it. That I felt like people were there for the specific game I was playing rather than for me.
Mhm.
And that was really hard because then I got burnt out from said game very quickly. And I think coming back to streaming and knowing like, okay, the people that are going to be coming back to me that have been with me from the beginning are they're back because of me, not necessarily whatever I'm playing.
Yeah, exactly.
And any new people that are joining, I have to kind of put it out into the space that I'm not only going to be playing one game. And that some days we're going to just talk and some days we're going to play, you know, three different games and some days we're going to play one game and that's just how it's going to be, and it's a fun time and it's a fun space to be, but I have to ultimately feel good about it at the end of the day.
Mhm.
And that has made a big difference for me mentally with streaming, feeling kind of solid and good in the content that I'm making, that I only want to continue doing that. Um, so that's a big thing. So I'm 100% in agreement with you on that. Um, I think another thing for me is continuing to work with charities
Ooh.
and companies that kind of speak to me and speak to my message, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, I've worked with the Trevor Project in the past, worked with Starlight Children's Foundation over Christmas last year. Obviously, I'm currently working with It Gets Better. You know, all three charities that mean a lot to me personally that I can then continue to share with my community.
Mhm.
Um, and that they get to know me and that they like me and I'm doing some good for other people and for a cause as well as for my stream. I find that very rewarding. So also just working with more charities and doing more like humanitarian effort and events.
Yeah.
Um, like because I feel like I enjoy those, even though I find them extremely stressful. I also really, really enjoy doing it. So that's definitely in the cards a lot, is like continuing charity work and charity streams and working with companies that stand for some good things. You know, the world is pretty messed up right now. And if I
Yeah.
can have a little bit of an impact to make one person's life better, that is all I could ask for.
Right. Why
So,
wouldn't you want to do that?
exactly.
Yeah.
Um, and then I guess my third one, I think when we answered this before, it was like, I don't think I had heard about the panel yet, actually, when we were talking about this last. And I think I said something along the lines of like working with Twitch at some point, like directly.
Yeah.
And
And
so
now
I
it's
guess
happening.
I guess that part is happening to a certain degree, but I guess it's just continuing to like build a community that stands on good ground and good values.
Hmm.
Um that, you know, if Twitch notices or any other company brands, like I 100% agree on the getting brand deals and stuff because that is hard to
Yeah.
do. And I want
Well,
to do that
especially like
more.
as a small creator too, I find. Like
Yeah.
you get so in your head of like, do I deserve this, or like am I allowed to do
Am I
this
allowed to
because
actually send in an application
I'm
for
a
this?
small creator?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard. And I think that's why I want to have like, I want to continue growing my community at a kind of steady pace that the brands then will see what the community is to then
Hmm.
want to work with me, you know, rather than it being like I'm chasing after stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So that's, I feel like, a long-term goal more so than like a round the corner, you know, actively work on thing. It's like, want to continue to grow to feel solid in that so that brands can then, I can work with brands, but I'm not like, please, brand, please work with me.
Please
Here
work
is
with
my
me.
media kit and please like it.
I am a good person, I swear. I can be
Exactly.
popular, just help
I
me.
am funny. I do make content. People do subscribe.
I'm a cool creator, not a normal creator.
Exactly. But yeah, so I would say those are my like three primary focuses, I guess, right now.
Hmm. Those are really good ones. I really like those goals a lot.
Thank you.
Um I have another silly question.
Okay.
And this one might make you laugh because this is the one where I'm just like, we have the same answer for this.
Okay.
What is it that you keep wanting to smell despite the fact that it doesn't smell particularly good?
I remember both
Should,
of our answers.
because I was like, okay, we both started laughing, and I was like, I feel like we have the same answer for
We
this,
do.
and I want us to do what we did last time, where I'm gonna count us
Okay.
down, and we're gonna say the answer. Okay,
Sounds good.
3, 2, 1. Gasoline.
Gasoline. It's so bad.
It's
It's
so.
so
We
bad.
should
But
not be
it's
smelling it,
so
but it
good.
smells so good. I just don't
I
know
don't
what it is.
see.
And
This is the
like,
problem.
for those of you listening, are we weird, or do you also like the smell
Yeah,
of
please
gasoline, like
answer.
the gas of
Please.
smelloline?
The gas of smelloline, if that's not your favorite smelloline, gasoline smelloline, then I don't want
What are
it.
you doing with your life?
Exactly. This is the problem though, is it's like it's not a situation where you can just like casually be like, you know what I mean? Like,
Gas.
delish. But it's also like when it happens, like if you're like at the petrol station or whatever and you're filling your car up, it's like, you know, like, oh,
Okay,
a little
but
sniff here and there.
have you noticed that different gas stations have different smells? Like
Yes.
some of them are more like crisp and
Chris.
and then other ones are just kind of like okay, eh.
I have I have noticed this. And some of them are like absolutely revolting.
Yeah.
I don't there's one particular brand out here that I'm thinking of that every time we go get gas, I get immediately nauseous.
Name drop them.
Immediately. Starts with a CH. Ends with an N.
We probably don't have that
You guys
here in
have
Canada.
those? Okay. It was a really popular pattern in like 2013.
Is it like a red,
It's blue, red, and white.
blue? Okay, I think I know what you're talking about then.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get them to sue me.
We're just talking
No
about their
lawsuit.
gasoline smell.
Okay, so Chevron literally makes me nauseous. Um, I don't know what it is about.
Chevron. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Remember when we got gift cards to Chevron gas stations at TwitchCon?
I do remember. Oh my god, are they sponsoring TwitchCon? Sorry, Chevron. I don't know what it is.
Chevron.
Every time
Chevron,
smell
listen,
it.
honey. Listen, sweetie. If you can, like, do something about your gas smell, that would be greatly appreciated.
That'd be wonderful. Some peppermint, anything.
Just make it like a more nice, crispy gas smell.
Crispy.
Thanks.
Crispy, please. That is so funny. Yeah, that's the one that like out here that every time we go to, I'm like, ooh, I don't feel good.
Oh no.
But every other one, it's like, that's nice.
This is nice.
I love that we have the same
We
answer for
like gas.
that. A t-shirt. That one.
Yeah, we like gas.
We like gas. Going to gas you up.
Oh my god. That would be so good.
Honestly, it would be really cute.
That would be really cute. That would be a very cute t-shirt idea.
I think so as well. I love that we have the same answer for that one.
I know, right? Oh my god, I hope other people also have the same answer. Like, please let us know. Please
Yes.
don't tell us that we're weird.
Yeah, if you tell us that, I might cry, but it's okay. So I kind of have like a fairly silly-ish question. It's more just lighthearted.
Okay.
But what movie or TV show have you seen the most times? Or like a YouTube video that you've watched multiple times?
Okay, my answer, because I remember this one from before, my answer then was The Devil Wears Prada.
A correct answer.
But ever since then, I feel like it's changed. And I want to say, now that I'm thinking about it, there is a show that I have watched a lot and multiple
Oh.
times, even though it has multiple
Oh.
seasons. I don't know if I want to say it because it's such a guilty pleasure, but it's a really good show. I like it.
Then like,
Pretty-
there's nothing to be guilty about.
Pretty Little Liars.
I love that so much. How many times would
love-
you say you've watched it?
Like 6 or 7 times
I have so
From-
much respect.
from start to beginning, all the way. Wait, what?
Start to beginning. It's a really long season.
I watched episode 1
What?
and I restarted over and
Just
over and
episode
over again. What the fuck? From start all the way to the end.
Oh my gosh. I love it. From start to the end, from the beginning to the end. I love it. 7 times, that's a good amount. Like you are the Pretty Little Liars connoisseur, if you will.
Yeah.
Have you watched the was it like the I don't want to say spin-off because it wasn't a spin-off, but like
The one with
second
like
thing that
their
came out?
kids? No.
Yeah.
I don't think
Is it their kids?
it wasn't their kids. So there was like a Pretty Little Liars spin-off or whatever, right? But it was
Yeah.
a bunch of different kids. With like different parents, but very similar concept. And there was only
Oh,
like a
okay.
season of it. It was
So it was
not
like a reboot.
good.
Rather than connected.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was not good
I
at
didn't
all. Yeah, no, don't watch it. It's really not worth the
Yeah,
time. Um, they did really good with the original Pretty Little Liars series until kind of towards the end. I think like the last few episodes
most
were kind of just
seasons
like
do.
yeah. Um and then yeah, like don't watch the spin-off. Second place though, I would probably say is like Teen Wolf. I
Ooh,
loved Teen Wolf. That
love
show,
love a Teen Wolf moment.
gay awakening for me. Ugh,
I love that.
yeah. I would remember every Friday, like 10 p.m. or whatever my time, it would come on TV. I'm like, I need to watch.
That's so precious. You're like, everybody out the way. This is my TV now.
It's
That's
so
so
good.
funny. I love that.
What about for you? What is something that you've watched?
Ooh. So for movie, I've I've talked about this on my stream before. This movie I have seen probably over 200 times. It's a problem. At this
200?
point, at this point it's a problem. I've watched it for years. Years since it came out.
Oh my
And that's
God.
Mamma Mia.
Ah, yep, okay.
That movie was also part, I think,
Mamma
of my gay
mia,
awakening.
here we go again. Yes, as it should
Like,
be.
particularly, like, Lay All Your Love on Me. Oh, damn it. I thought I was dead.
Honestly, the only song I know from it is Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia. That's fair. That's fair. If you, we will have to watch Mamma Mia together, and I will point out the moment, and you will know
Yeah,
exactly why.
because I've never actually watched Mamma Mia. I'm so sorry. This is where our
Okay, we
friendship
gotta
ends.
do
This
this.
is.
No. This is where I take your hand in mine and we say, we're watching Mamma Mia now,
We
and you have no
have
choice.
we have a whole week.
Exactly. An in-person Mamma Mia watch. You guys should do that with me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, we
No,
should.
I've seen that movie over 200 times. It's like it's one of those that I'll just like put on. Like if I'm having like a really shit day, I'll just put it on and like go about my day and like do stuff and like on the computer or work or whatever I'm doing, and it'll just be on and I will catch myself slowly becoming happier. Like I will
That's
I
so
like have that
cute. I
like
love that.
so I love that. Also, as I said, like part I think of some of my gay awakening was very much like in that film.
Hell yeah.
Um for like TV shows or series, um I hate to say it, but Dance Mom.
Oh my god.
I hate it. I've
Ciao
watched it.
ciao.
JoJo, have you learned nothing? But particularly like the first like I want to say like 3 or 4 seasons, whatever was on Hulu early on, like that I would just put that on, and that would be the same like,
Mm,
oh, I'm folding the laundry, that's on,
right.
like that kind of thing. I've also watched Schitt's Creek a lot.
Mm.
the, the hands for our listeners, the hands went big.
Just in
It
like
was an
full like
outstretch. The bare hands
I
came out.
love Schitt's
Right?
Creek.
Me
Oh
too.
my god. That show is like
Brilliant.
top three, like top five, top three shows. I
Yeah,
fucking love it.
it's
Um,
so good.
the relationship between David and Patrick.
Sob,
Oh my
sob.
god.
I love that
I
show so
like,
much.
oh my god, they're literal goals. Like, I'm trying not to think
Yeah,
about them because I'm gonna cry.
yeah. No, that's fair.
But I love that show. The comedy in that
So
show,
good.
10 out of 10. The
So good.
like story of the show, 10 out of 10. The
Mm-hmm.
characters, 10 out of 10. Everything
10
is
out of 10.
fantastic. I was very sad when the show ended, but I
Me
am
too.
glad that they ended it when they did, where they did. And they also had like a reconnect
The
with each other, the
special.
special.
Yeah.
And they talked about it. They're like, we're sad that it ended, but we're glad that it ended where it did. And I agree with them,
Mm-hmm.
and like the stuff that they did. It was very
Same.
cute.
Same. No, I've watched that, I think at this point like 5 times, 5 or 6
I
times. Like
love
from the start to the beginning.
I just thought of something that might have actually beaten Pretty Little Liars.
Oh.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I might have to put that actually in mine as well because I've watched that
So
ridiculous amount of times.
here in Canada, the only place that I know where we can actually watch it is on like a program called Crave, like a subscription program called Crave.
Okay.
I don't have that. I just like recently canceled mine. So I've on Netflix, Canadian Netflix only has season like 13, 14, and 15, I think. And then has
Oh,
like
okay.
All Stars season 6, 7, and 8 or something like that. I've watched I've watched all 3 seasons of normal Drag Race
Yeah.
and All Stars on Netflix 10 times.
As you should. So Bianca Del Rio's season, which was also like Adore Delano, Courtney Act,
Yeah.
like Darian
Jocelyn
Lake,
Fox,
Jocelyn
Darian
Fox.
Lake,
Yeah, like wonk wonk. Like
Quack, quack. Gia
I've seen
Gunn,
that. Gia Gunn,
Milk.
exactly.
Ugh, I have the biggest crush on
Laganja.
Milk.
Oh, I love Milk. I
Gorgeous.
hate how awful they were to Milk. Like
Yeah.
yeah. But I've seen that season easily 8 or 9 times. Easily.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I've rewatched a lot of Drag Race as well. But that season in particular was like on loop.
I really don't know what my favorite season would be. I
Mm.
want to say it's 5 just because I'm biased since I love Jinx Monsoon so much.
Oh, love Jinx.
Yeah.
Love Jinx.
Number 1 favorite drag queen. I love Jinx.
Mm-hmm.
But then also season 15
Okay.
with Sasha Colby. Was it 15?
Yeah.
Because
I
they
think
just
so.
did 16, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
Season
Love Sasha.
15. The lip syncs, the talent all season. Like,
Yeah.
that is
I
up
also
there.
love the UK seasons, I have to say.
I am really bad. I haven't watched any of the UK seasons.
So no spoilers, but the first UK season and this, because I think there are 3 UK seasons now, but the first and the second I've seen quite a few times, and it just like slay. Perfect.
I
Love.
really want to watch the other versions of Drag Race. Like I watched the Canadian one.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the main one, the American one. I did watch UK versus the World,
Okay.
and I will never forget Pangina Heels Cry.
Iconic moment in history.
Oh, the edit on that is crazy.
They went wild.
Oh my god, they really put in Pangina's like long ass cry for a really long time in the episode. It was very awkward.
Yeah. Yeah. I've watched the Netherlands or the Dutch one rather.
Oh, okay.
With NB Peru, and oh my gosh, I love them. I will say was not the biggest fan of the Australian one. It just like it was not my kind of humor. It was like I love a good like lewd joke, but it was just like a little too far for me personally,
Okay.
which is like totally fine. Like everybody has different levels of whatever. It just wasn't my particular kind of comedy. But I think our favorite of the international, because I watch it a lot with my mom when new episodes come out. We watched the Spanish one from Spain,
Ooh.
and the talent,
I've seen
the
some of their
vibes.
like runways and stuff. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, Dovima
Incredible.
Normie, Carmen. Oh my god, I can't. I love them so much.
You're like, I am obsessed.
I'm
Canada's
obsessed.
Drag Race is okay, in my opinion. It's very cheesy and corny. And they try to throw in as many Canadian puns as possible. And it's just kind of like, it's a lot. because it's just like,
Yeah.
we could have the same production as America's Drag Race, RuPaul's Drag Race America, but we don't.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's weird.
I've not seen all of the Canadian Drag Race, but what I have seen of it, I've liked. But I definitely think they're trying almost too hard to make it different,
Yeah. They're trying
which
too
then
hard to make it
backfires.
Canadian.
Yeah, exactly. But I still love the Drag Race franchise as a whole.
Yes.
Very fun, very cutesy, very demure.
Very demure, very mindful. Not mindful, very not mindful,
Not
actually.
mindful.
Because you have to have
Yeah,
so many different subscriptions just to watch their shows.
very true. I think it was on Paramount Plus here for a while, and that's the only place you can watch it. Like, it's not even like live, like it can only be watched on Paramount Plus.
That's
And when they
crazy.
switched to that, I was like, I can't do this again.
I can't
I
keep
can't sign
up.
up for another thing.
I can't keep up at
Yeah.
all.
Mm-mm. But that's a good answer. Yeah, seeing like Drag Race repeatedly, I feel like is just like in the blood.
Yeah, like it just makes for wonderful entertainment, because why not?
Yeah.
Um, I I was looking at my questions, and I was gonna ask a weird one, but I feel like a lot of people
Okay.
have heard about this already. It was my weirdest food combinations, or like, what is your weirdest food
Oh,
combinations? But I think I'm gonna skip that, and I want to talk
okay.
about stream related stuff.
Okay.
Um, and mine being, why did you start streaming? What was the reason that you
Ooh,
started doing what you're doing?
that's a good question. I mean, I have a very short answer for the weird food combination because I would
Okay,
offend you to the death over over your orange juice
thank
and
you. At
Oreos
least somebody
because
will
I
defend
tried
me.
it. I tried it and I think it was delicious.
Orange
So
juice and Oreos, eat it.
eat it, try it. Anyway, I'll that's my short answer. No time for discussion. That's the answer. Um but for why did I start streaming? I think for me, because it was when I first started streaming, it was right at like that turning point in the pandemic where we didn't really know what was happening. And we didn't really know what was going to be happening next. Like if the world was going to open up and things were going to be okay, or if it was going to be locked down again for, another 2 years. Like we didn't know what was going on. So I started
Hmm.
2021. Yeah, February of 2021. And so we had already been in the pandemic for a little bit of time. I was already playing a lot of video games and already starting to spend time on Twitch. I was in a few communities and I loved the platform as a whole. I just thought it was a really fun concept.
Hmm.
And I was talking to a streamer friend that I had made who unfortunately no longer streams, but she kind of was saying like, I think you'd be really good at streaming and, if you want to get started, like I'm happy to help you get started. And at first I was just kind of like, you're just saying that to be nice, like whatever.
Oh my god.
Like thanks so much, but yeah. And then I was playing The Sims, one casual evening, and it kind of clicked in my head. It's like, oh, this is really fun. I'm doing this anyway. I could give it a shot
Hmm.
because, I mean, very naive. Like, I'm already playing the game. What's the difference of playing it with a chat?
Yeah.
Now looking back on that, I'm like, wow, Estella, you had no idea. um, but it kind of was just like maybe like let me give it a shot. If I like it, wonderful, and I'll see where it goes. And if I don't have to do it. It's
Right.
all in my hands at that point. Um, and so I remember kind of talking about it with Mama Melon and being like, so I have this crazy idea that I might do this. What do you think about it? Because I wanted to get the permission in the way where it was like, even though I didn't need permission because grown adult, but I just needed the like you can do this, like the affirmation of like, Yeah, I
Yeah.
got you back. Like, you're not crazy for trying to do this.
You're not doing it by
um,
yourself. I'm there to help you,
yeah,
support you.
exactly. So I was talking to her about it, and she was like, I mean, give it a try. Why not? Why not? So I just kind of did it. Like, it just, when I started, I didn't really have a plan. I didn't have any direction of what I wanted it to be. I just knew that I wanted to try and kind of see what happened.
Hmm.
And I was very, very fortunate with my first stream. That the wonderful, again, shout out to another amazing creator, Candidly Kayla, who is now like a partnered streamer and is an incredible, incredible person. She gave me my very first raid on my first stream with like over 100 people. And like
Damn,
I
that's crazy. Over a
basically
hundred people.
my first
Damn.
stream, I was terrified.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
I look back at the video footage and I'm like, ha 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 hi. It's so embarrassing. Um, but you know, like I kind of learned a lot from being thrown very much in the deep end at that point. And yeah, Kayla and I are still in touch. We're actually planning to meet up at TwitchCon.
Ooh.
Um, you know, just like that kind of boost from somebody like that who then was like continuously like checking in as well, like through my stream journey and the friends I've made along the way. um,
I wonder who
you
those are.
know,
Wow,
I
crazy.
wonder. I don't know. I don't have any friends.
Oh
Kidding.
my god. I
Kidding.
don't know who those are. I don't have
I
any
don't
friends. Wow,
know.
that's crazy.
That's crazy. No, but the friends I've made along the way, like it just kind of I guess it stuck and I became more attached to it. But yeah, when I first started streaming, I had no plan. I
Hmm.
didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know why. There wasn't like a specific why until a little over a year now when I came back to streaming.
Right.
That's when I had more of a why. When I first started, it was like, I'm playing video games, why not?
Yeah.
Like, which I think is how almost everybody starts to a certain degree. It's like, oh, let's try.
Right.
So,
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm playing video games. Why don't I just try streaming on Twitch? Why
exactly.
not?
But yeah. What about you? What was your origin of going live?
Mine goes all the way back to like 2016-ish, maybe
Mm-hmm.
a little bit before that, because in high school I had always wanted to make content. I had always brought up to my friends the idea of like making YouTube skits and doing like silly little goofy internet videos
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, right? It wasn't until like after I graduated, I was kind of doing my own thing because like everybody was busy with school and stuff.
Yeah.
That's when I started, like, I actually made my YouTube channel and would make my own skits. And, like I would work on creating the skit, bought like an $800 camera, bought a ring light and everything. Like I had the whole setup.
Okay,
Um,
boosh.
yeah, I have like these little microphones and stuff.
I love
So I have like
that.
this whole setup. And so I started creating YouTube videos. And from there, it kind of got into one year for my birthday, my friends bought me a gift card to like a Best Buy. And with that gift card, I bought my first like quote unquote gaming microphone. It was
Mm-hmm.
a Razer Siren X. I still remember.
Classic.
That's what I got. My
Classic.
first ever gaming microphone. And I was like, shortly after that, the pandemic hit. And that's when I was kind of like, why don't I try streaming? Because
Mm-hmm.
the streaming thing came from I think I was playing Valorant or something at one point, and people that I was playing with, like had open microphones. So I was talking with them, and they're like, "Oh, you have a really nice voice. Like you should start streaming." And
Yeah.
so that's when that kind of got put into my head. And so with my Razer microphone, I was like, I have my first kind of gaming gear. Why don't I start streaming? But also shortly before I actually did, there is a content creator, OG YouTuber by the name of Superwoman. I don't know if you've ever heard of Superwoman. Yeah.
Yes.
Lily Singh. Shout out to Lily Singh, Superwoman.
Shout out.
She actually came out with a self-help book. And I know that a bunch of like
Yeah.
influencer self-help books are just like whatever. But as I was reading her book, I wasn't reading it just to read it. I was like reading it to absorb the information that was being put into the book. And also there was sections of the book where you can ask yourself questions or answer questions and write it down in the book and stuff. And so it was all about like getting outside of your comfort zone and building like a new level of comfort for yourself and just doing the things that you want to do, because like, you know, it's at the end of the day, what's the worst thing that can happen? At least you're trying to accomplish your
Right.
goals and stuff. And so it was after I read that book, that's when I was like, you know what? I am going to try streaming. Like creating YouTube videos is a whole different thing because you're behind a camera. Nobody's there live to see your reactions and
Yeah.
talk to you. So you can record whatever, edit out whatever you want to, and then upload that. But when you're live, it's real time. So everybody sees
Yeah.
everything, right? And so that made me like so nervous for the longest time until it was after I read that book. And then that's when I was like, pandemic hit. The world's super slow right now. I'm not working. Let me try streaming. And
Yeah.
so that's when I started streaming. And like we've talked, and we've literally found out that we pretty much started streaming around the same time.
Yeah.
Like I started streaming roughly last week of December 2020, beginning of like
Yeah.
January 2021.
2021. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
started February 2021.
Yeah,
So
so you would have started like
it's pretty
roughly a
wild.
month after me, which is
Yeah.
crazy. And then like we hit
Wild.
affiliate like roughly at the same time too, which is also very
Yeah.
crazy.
No, there were so many parallels to us and like us in our own content creation stories. And then there were tons of parallels of us kind of traveling in the same circles
Yeah.
until we actually like met,
Yeah.
which is so
Like
crazy.
it's so funny because literally the beginning of our stream journeys were just the roads of us connecting to each
Yep.
other in the future and meeting up with each other,
So
which is crazy,
cute.
right? Like we both started streaming
Yeah.
at the same time. At some point, we've met somebody who was part of a friend group
Yeah.
that was connected to us, and then like the strings just kept going until they attached. The
It's
invisible
so cool.
strings.
Oh, yeah, use Taylor like that. It'll make me cry on a casual Wednesday. What? It's true though. It's true.
In
Damn. Oh my
invisible
god.
strings doesn't have to be about like a lover or
No,
relationships. It
it
could
can
be
be
for
about a
friendships.
bestie.
Exactly.
No, it's true though. There were so many things that like lined up for us. Um in both like our own content creation, but then especially how we've met and how our paths crossed. And obviously like we both know a lot of people on Twitch.
Hmm.
Um, but to know people on Twitch, but then to get to know people on Twitch is a very different thing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And I think I can only obviously speak for myself, but I feel like I've hit the jackpot in like friendship with you and a couple
Oh,
other amazing people.
stop.
It's true though, because there's a lot of mutual respect in our content, and as people that our friendships just like it flows, it's natural, it's
Hmm.
cute, it's demure.
It's demure. It's very mindful.
Very mindful. But it's true. It's mindful, it's respectful, and it's just it's a very authentic, natural, like it was a natural progression,
Yeah,
which
I
I think is so
agree.
cool.
I feel like it can be rare in a content creation space to meet friends that you can actually be, or just like to meet people that you can actually be friends with and have a genuine
Yeah,
real connection with outside of content creating. Because I feel like if
definitely.
I were to ever like quit streaming or quit content creating, we would still have a very perfectly fine friendship.
A
I
million
would
percent.
have a perfectly fine friendship with you and everybody else that I'm like super incredibly close with that I've met through
Hmm.
streaming.
I think so.
And like this is why, like I've said it to you before, this is why I say like we're not just like online friends. We have an actual real life friendship outside
Yeah.
of Twitch or outside of just like
Right.
social media content creating.
Yeah.
And so it's very nice, and I've definitely like hit a jackpot with you and a few other people that I keep close and
I
hang around with.
blush. I blush. No, I 100% agree. And like the separation, I guess, of like online friends to real life friends, I think is a hard thing sometimes for people to grasp. But when you've become friends with somebody and it goes beyond content, goes beyond collab, it goes beyond that kind of social media bubble,
Mhm.
and it really does transfer over, like that only happens when it is like a very true, honest, and respectful friendship. I mean, I'm thinking about this. I'm like, you're gonna be in my house in a month.
Yep.
Like, like you're gonna meet my mother.
I
You know
know.
what I mean?
I'm meeting the parent. Oh my god.
Like you're meeting the parent, like you're meeting my, like you're gonna be in my house. You're gonna see like, I mean, you've seen me in person, but you're gonna see like me in my
Your
your
personal
environment.
space.
Yeah, which like is so wild to think of in the first place, because
Yeah.
like what? But also like I feel like that is one of those things where it's like, oh, this definitely is like a another defining moment of not only being online, even though I think of you as one of my like best friends in general, like not
Mm.
with the online best.
Yeah, like
Right.
not a, like an online bestie. It's like a real
No.
life best
Yeah.
friend kind of thing.
Yeah. Which is like super cute and super fun, and when it comes to content creation, very rare.
Oh yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
met very many people through content creating that I've became friendly with. Did call
Hmm.
friends at some point, but the good intentions were not there. My good intentions weren't there. Respect for my boundaries weren't there. Respect for me as a person weren't there.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like oh, you're cool, you have potential, I'm going to keep you around until you're not needed anymore kind of thing. And so
Totally.
it's very rare because it does eventually come down to like a whole numbers thing and popularity thing. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I only want to be friends with you if you're popular. And it's like,
Yeah.
no,
I mean,
be
we talked
friends
a
with
little bit
people
about
to
that
be friends
on,
with them.
yeah, we talked a little bit about that on the podcast last week as well, where, that's very much just how the Twitch space can be. When you go behind the curtain of like the content creators versus the community members, there's a lot of that going on within the content creating group. And I'm so grateful that that's not, for the most part, the people that we choose to spend time with and interact with.
Yeah.
But it's very much a huge part of Twitch. And so when you find somebody that isn't that and doesn't behave like that, it's like a breath of fresh air.
It's also like because you do get so used to people essentially using you, when somebody does come around where it's like it can be a genuine actual friendship, it like
Mm-hmm.
is like a hold on, wait, like is this real? Is
Right.
this
And I
not
feel like it's fairly
real? Like,
noticeable sometimes.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Like once you've had a few, kind of what you thought were friendships blow up in your face.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see the difference and like catch the behaviors earlier on. When that doesn't happen, and you can either kind of approach it with the like, oh, when is it going to happen? Or, oh, this might be like an actual real friendship.
Yeah.
It does take a second to be like, oh, oh,
Yeah.
wait, is this, wait.
There are
um,
some people that I've
but
definitely met based off of like past experiences where I've kept them at an arm's length. It's just like, oh, you're nice, you're cool, but I don't trust that your intentions are to actually be friends with me.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to communicate with you anymore.
Yeah.
And then there's people who, and like I'm saying this because every time I feel like I talk about people where I'm like, I don't want to talk to you anymore because I don't trust you. But there's people that I meet where I'm just like, oh yeah, we could have like an actual genuine friendship. Like things can be cool between us. But that I just suck at communicating with them.
But it also goes both ways.
It does.
I
Yes.
mean,
Yes, that is
that's a
true.
very real part of it also is it's like people can only put in what they put in and you just meet them where they're at. So like if
True.
they're not messaging you, you don't have to message them.
Yeah.
And if you message them and they don't respond, doesn't mean you have to send a second message all the time.
It's a two-way street.
Um,
It's a two-way street.
it's a two-way street.
The tea is piping.
It's always piping. There's always something in there. No, but it's true. It's true.
It is
Now there are
very
so
true.
many
Absolutely.
things.
I agree.
Yeah, and so many things that really like at the start of our streaming journeys, like whatever chaos happened while we've been getting to the point where we're at now, there's a lot of gratitude that I have for that invisible string, right? Whatever it was, there's a lot of gratitude that I have because both of us have had multiple ups and downs in the content creation part of it, but also the friendship part of it,
Hmm.
or the friend drama part of it, or whatever. That like whatever it was that brought us to where we are today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean like I am always grateful for like bad stuff happening sucks. It's the
Yeah,
worst thing. Like I don't want bad things happening, but at the end of the day, I can learn to find some sort of appreciation for the bad things that I've been through in the past or have dealt with because it leads me to situations like this where I find amazing people like you or where we find amazing people that are in our communities and stuff like that right now, you
yeah,
know? And so it's like you got to be thankful at some point or learn to find the good and the bad.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I agree. So I have another question.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a silly on one hand, but not really. It's more just like a neutral question. But
Okay.
it says, you've just been granted a treat yourself day with 3 wishes. Treat yourself.
Ooh.
What are they? And how are you spending the day?
Ooh. 3 wishes. Okay. Treat yourself day. Number one would be to get a really nice haircut and dye my hair.
Ooh. Dye your hair.
Yeah. So I'd go to a fancy salon and get my hair dyed
Okay.
and get a nice haircut. So
What
essentially,
color hair would you
I
dye
I
it?
really want to get like a really really dark green. I want it to be
Ooh.
like dark, like black in a room, but then when sunlight or natural light, like any sort of light hits it,
Mm-hmm.
there's like a green tint to it. Like a very dark green.
Ooh.
Like have you know
That would
like
look so
midnight
good.
blue? It
Yeah.
would be like a midnight green.
Midnight green. I love
Yeah.
that. That would look so good on you too.
Yeah. That and then a full body massage would be
Ooh.
so nice. A full body massage slash like going to a chiropractor. Have you seen those TikTok videos of
I,
like people getting their
with like
like
the
bones
neck
cracked?
strap.
Yeah. Yeah, like one of those. I'd be scared, but I would feel
Yeah.
so good
Have you ever been to a
after.
chiropractor?
No, I've never had a massage. I've never been to a chiropractor. I actually don't really like massages. They hurt.
Yeah. Same.
But I feel like it's because like okay,
Mm-mm.
so if they hurt for you too, then I feel like it's because our bodies are so tense and
Yeah,
like
probably.
our like body is so like knotted and stuff that when we do get a
Yeah.
massage, it hurts.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the good hurt.
Okay.
where it's like it's painful but in a good way.
Okay. What kind of
That's
massages are you wanting to go to? My goodness.
just a normal massage.
It
It
hurts,
hurts but in a
but in
good
a good
way.
way. Got it.
I feel pain but I like it.
But I like it. I get what you mean though. Yeah. It's interesting because I feel like I've only had one like massage, like an actual massage in my life, and it hurts so bad. I was like sobbing because of how much it hurt,
Oh no.
and I've always been scared to like do it again.
Oh
So
no. Wow, that's crazy.
yeah,
I
I'm a little.
I feel like it would
Mhm.
probably hurt, but I feel like it's something you have to kind of like keep up with and do
Yeah,
every now and then. Um,
yeah.
so I feel like the order for me would be like literally like this. So the three wishes, right? Three self-care days, things or whatever. So fancy
Mhm.
haircut, dyeing my hair, massage, and then just ending the night in like a hot tub. A
Ooh,
hot tub with like a
yeah.
nice drink.
Ooh, love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much. It's a good way to spend a day.
Right?
I
Yeah.
like it.
Fancy haircut, massage, and a hot tub.
The green would look really good. Like
Yeah,
if
I
that becomes an opportunity for you to do at some point, I think it would be such a slay.
it's funny because like I re-downloaded Snapchat today and they have like the haircut filters, right? Like the different colors on
Yeah.
it. And so I would always try out the green one to be like, oh, what would I look like with like really
Hmm.
dark green? And it's not bad. So
I mean, I see the
eventually,
vision.
eventually I'm gonna have green hair.
That'd be so good.
It's gonna
I
happen.
love it. I love it.
Yeah, so those are my
S-
three. What are your three?
Ooh, okay. So I'd probably go get like manicure pedicure situation
Ooh, yeah.
because I love getting like a nice manicure done. Like that is like, but if I'm doing it, I'm gonna like do like hands, tootsies, get the brows done. Like I want the spa experience, right?
Ooh, yeah.
So I would do that. And then have you seen those spas that basically are like at a movie theater? Have you seen this?
Yeah.
So
There's like
like
spas that
in
have like
bet
movie theaters and like a full buffet kind of thing.
yeah, like full
Yeah.
experience, right? So I'm thinking that I book the spa day as well, but in between treatments, you can go into the movie theater and like watch whatever on like a this giant like bed couch thing.
Yeah.
So that um I'd probably want to do like one of the like nice lunch packages. I love a brunch. So I do like a brunch and just like have some like really high end like nice food. Again, I feel like I'd do this by myself. Like I feel like I do like a by myself adventure where I'm just like sitting there, like getting pampered.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I've always been scared to get a massage again after the last time I got, it, and I was like sobbing from how much
Oh
it hurt.
no.
So I feel like I would need to overcome that.
Yeah.
But a facial, a facial is
Mm.
one of my most favorite things. Like I've only ever had like very minimal ones. One of my like dream expenses is to get like a really nice facial. Have you seen those ones on TikToks with like on TikToks? What?
The one
On
on TikToks.
TikTok,
On the
because I'm
TikTok?
87 years old. Um, on TikTok where
I
it's
have
like a
purse.
jelly. I have purse, I have hat on head, I have TikToks. But like the facial with the like the jelly
Yeah.
that like covers everything
Yeah.
like
Like the
that.
super expensive fancy
Yeah,
ones. Yeah.
it's like gold leaf. Like
Yeah. Oh my
why?
god.
Who knows?
Who
But it's there,
knows?
so it's expensive. So yeah, definitely like nice lunch, nice manicure, pedicure, and facial
Yes.
for sure.
That's perfect.
Basically, what I'm hearing is we both really need a spa trip
Yeah, we do.
badly. Well, we're getting our nails done, so at least get like one little bit of it together. But
Exactly. Yeah. It would be nice to do a whole full spa
we're
experience,
broke.
but we're
We're broke.
so broke.
We're so broke. Yeah,
The trip,
not in the cards for this one.
the trip is like I was thinking about it the other day, how much it is Canadian. Oh my god.
Don't think about it until
We're
you get back home.
we're spending so much.
Yeah, we are. Yep. Even in American,
Even
I'm
in
like, oh,
American. Yeah.
but I think we're doing it the best way we can do it to have a really good experience without completely going insane.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're doing things very cost effectively. Even
Yeah.
though altogether it's expensive, overall,
It's
like,
like
we're
being
doing it.
broken down, which is nice. It's not
Yeah,
like a big lump sum payment all at once kind of thing, which is
exactly.
nice. Yeah.
Exactly. We're responsible to a certain
I
degree.
don't know if I could say I'm responsible, but yeah.
In the planning, I didn't say in life, I said in the
In the
planning.
planning, yes, you are responsible. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I
That's so
literally,
funny.
literally today, I was like, I can't spend any more money. I need to save whatever I have so I can add it on to my pay for Friday. What do I do
Yeah.
today? Buy myself dinner.
I mean, sometimes it's just that time. Sometimes it's just
No,
that
it
time.
can't be because I did it on Monday.
Oh, well, in that case.
And I
So,
did it four times
listen,
last week.
I think because life has been what it's been for both of us the past
No,
couple of weeks,
no. You have to tell me
we're
no.
doing,
I need
let
to
me,
save
we're
money.
doing what we can for this week, right? We're surviving. But come Monday,
Okay,
new week, no spending. That's my thought. We,
sure.
we get it to the end of this week.
Okay, okay. I could do that. I
Yeah,
could do that.
yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
gosh. I think we both need a spa day. That from those
Yeah,
answers, that sounds like a spa day
a
is
spa day would
needed.
be wonderful. A spa day would be great. Absolutely. Um, I have a final question for me.
Okay.
This is my final question. I really like this one.
Okay.
And then for me that'll be like the last of my questions. So, question is, who or what inspires you? I love this question.
Oh,
It's so good.
that is a deep question. Hmm. I mean, I think there are many different things I pull inspiration from,
Like tarot cards.
but yeah, the literal tarot cards. Um, but obviously anybody who knows me knows how close I am to my mom.
Yeah.
I think she is amazing. She is just like one of the kindest, funniest people like you'll ever meet. And I always say this to her, and I've said it online before, where it's like, even if she were not my mom, I'd want to be her friend because she's just like she first of all, she's just a good time. Like she's very funny. She's always like just like just she's like a good person to be around.
Yeah.
Um, obviously she is my mom, so we have our moments, but like overall, she's been a single parent raising me obviously my entire life, and she's still, even as I'm an adult, my like first in line to be supportive and back me up. And it's been just the two of us. I've talked a little about that online as well. Like it's been the two of us basically my entire life. And so it's forced us to be very close, and not have like the typical mother-daughter like situation. It's like we're very much equals, even though she's my
Hmm.
parent and always has been. We've had to approach the world as like partners in crime in a lot of ways.
Right.
So I mean, everything that she's done for me and with me through my life has always been a huge inspiration. Because I don't know if I had lived through what she had to take care of a kid by herself. I don't know if
Yeah.
I could do that.
It's
Like
a lot for
she
sure.
yeah. and I've also said this online, my dad was not the nicest person and was very, very cruel to her. And so for her to fight through that and protect me and protect her, like, and has basically set up the life that I've been able to live and will continue to live, like, that is amazing. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like my mom is like my biggest inspiration out of everything. Um, but yeah, when I think about like other parts of inspiration, it's like I draw inspiration from everything and everyone in some way. Um, Whether it's just inspiration to do something, like the confidence boost that a friend would give me, or you know, a book that I read, I can, pull inspiration from that book to create a character for one of my streams, or like there's so much inspiration all around.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would definitely say like if I had to choose, obviously it'd be my mother,
Huge shout out to Mama Melon for protecting
Always.
you and raising
Yeah.
such a fantastic person and
Aw,
raising them well
shucks.
enough so I can be friends with them.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Gives me the
She's gonna
opportunity to be friends with you.
very true. She's gonna hear this and be like, "Oh my god, I love you, Mama." She's been listening as well, like
Oh,
to the
I love
podcast, and I think that's
that.
like
That's
the
so
cutest
sweet.
thing.
I can't wait
So
to
cute.
meet you in person. I'm so excited.
She's pretty pumped. She's pretty pumped as well.
It's gonna be
That's a
so
good
much
question,
fun.
though.
Yeah, I really
Love that
like
question.
inspiration questions a lot. It's always nice to see like or even hear about who inspires people and like how they inspire them and stuff like that.
Hmm. Well,
Yeah.
what about you? Your inspiration? What's your inspiration?
My oomph. I have a
Oomph,
couple.
it's just- Okay.
Um so for a while, uh it I don't really talk about like family issues and stuff like that. And so I never really looked at my dad this way. But my dad is an inspiration for me for sure. He's very hardworking. Um Dude has so many like health issues and like really needs to be taking care of himself. But he always will like keep pushing and keep going even though he should be resting and like taking it easy. But he's always very like productive and always like has a goal and tries his best to keep up with the goal and keep doing it. So he's very much like watching him be in like a state where he should be resting and should be taking care of himself, but is actually like pushing through and being productive and stuff. It's kind of like a little bit motivational for me because it's like, you
Hmm.
know, even like when you're at a low or like tired or like not in the bed headspace and stuff like that, to be able to like push yourself and to keep going and keep being productive is like a huge motivation boost for me.
Hmm.
So he's very much one of them. I kind of talked about it last stream or last episode of the podcast, but like friends like you know, seeing everybody do like grand things helps motivate myself or helps to like inspire me because I see people doing these grand things and I'm like, oh, you know, like if I push myself and if I put my mind to it, I can also be capable of doing big grand things that I want to be doing. So friends very like heavily also influenced that for sure. But then the last one is very funny. Taylor Swift.
That's not funny. That's real.
She is such a hard worker to
She
be able
is.
to like fight the battles that she fights, produce the music that she does, work on the music that she does, like go crazy with like all of these Easter eggs and the production value that she puts into like her shows and stuff like that.
Mastermind.
Mastermind, exactly. I take a lot of inspiration from her. She's incredible.
Yeah, I don't think that's silly at all. I was going to give Taylor a shouty, but I was like, I talk about her enough. Let me keep it in for like 2 seconds. But no, I 100% agree with you on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not silly. That's fair. Yeah.
I love her work ethic and like
Yeah.
how hardworking she is and stuff like that. It's wonderful. Like, you, Jen, and like so many other people. Like my friend Aquarius Cow. Huge shout out to Aquarius. You know, like she's another individual who's really going through it in life. And is always just like pushing through and constantly like hitting huge ass like potholes on the life road, but will somehow like still manage to pick herself back up and keep going. And I find that super motivational and inspiring. So it's just like, yeah, my dad, my close friends, and Taylor Swift are
I think
people
that's
who
a good
inspire
bunch.
me.
And I'm honored to be in that bunch there. That's very, very kind. Me and Taylor, why don't we just call Taylor up?
What? Yeah. What happens if we just call Taylor up? Hey, do you want to give us your 22 hat at the show? Thanks.
Please, please, please. During the earthquake, I was like begging for the 22 hat from Taylor Nation. I was like, the folklore cardigan kept me safe. 22 hat.
22 hat, thanks.
Thanks.
You need to tweet that
Oh
out
my
to
God.
Taylor Nation. Do it.
Need to at this point. No, I love that. I love that question. That's such a good question, and thank you for sharing a little bit about your dad, because I know you don't really talk about much of that online.
Yeah.
But I love that you shared that a little bit.
Yeah,
Especially.
it's like if I ever were to get into it, this would be like the place to do it, because I definitely wouldn't want to talk about it on stream.
Yeah.
But it's just like a little bit of like a opening up that door and kind of introducing that topic kind of thing.
I get you.
Yeah.
Well, this is the Online OffStream Podcast. The things we would talk about, not on stream.
Exactly. This is the place to do it.
This is the place to do it. I love this little Q&A. This was a lot of fun.
This was a lot of fun, yes.
Doing Q&As like this, it's a fun way to kind of structure the podcast a little bit, but it also lets natural conversation flow. And I'm sure we'll be doing some more questions at some point in a future episode, because I really like this.
Yeah.
Even though I love our like weekly recap, like yap chat.
Yeah.
vibes.
Oh yeah. I feel like, because I mean it's working for us, right? Like to just have like our weekly recap yap session, and then like a little twist Q&A episode, because why not, you know? So
why not?
Like we've said before, we don't really know the full-on direction of our podcast, other than it's just we're here to talk and here to let you all listen to us and hear our conversations and get to know us more off stream.
Yeah. Exactly. No, I love it. And I've as we said at the beginning of the stream, I've just loved seeing people's responses to the podcast, and like when they send us a message or they post in one of our discords or tweet or whatever, bring it into chat, you know, just like, oh, I was, you know, doing my laundry today and I was listening to the podcast and this moment made me laugh, or this moment made me feel something. Like it's so much fun. So thank you guys for listening and enjoying and interacting and letting us know how the podcast has been making you feel, and when you felt excited about something or you thought something was funny. You know, we love hearing about it. And you know, it's always fun hearing feedback as well, but also the fact that you guys have really been loving it has just like, because we've been loving it so much.
Yeah, it gives me such a like giddy feeling where it's like, you know, like for people to just kind of have the podcast up and like kind of listen to it in the background while doing something, it's just like it means the world to us. Like we appreciate you all for just taking a couple minutes, even like even if you don't listen to a whole podcast, to just listen to a little bit of it. So taking some time out of your day to just listen to a couple minutes, or even if you listen to the whole thing, like it means a lot to us and we really appreciate it.
And everybody who has on Spotify given us like a 5-star rating. Like,
yeah, oh my god.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so honored.
Speaking of Spotify, we're apparently part of a trend. I went to upload the episode yesterday, And this was last week's episode. I went to go upload it, and like a thing popped up, and it's like, you're part of a trend. And it was because on Spotify, it's our like video of us talking is being posted on
Right.
Spotify. So we're part of a trend where people are posting videos of their podcasts
Oh my
onto Spotify, and I
gosh.
had no idea. So we're part of a trend.
We're on trend.
We're trending.
We're trending slay. No, that's so cool. I love that so much. And as Wesley said, we don't know the specific direction that the podcast will go in, but I've been really enjoying it, and it's very, very fun to see everyone's responses and
Hmm.
knowing that you guys are enjoying it. Um, I think there's so much content to consume in this world, and the fact that a lot of you are choosing to spend part of your day listening to us chat about everything and nothing at the same time,
Yeah,
it's so cool. And I'm excited to see what's next.
me too.
That's
Yes.
for sure.
This podcast
And
is
on
a
that
very important
note,
project for us. So, yeah.
yes, it is. But on that note, I think that is where we're going to wrap up today.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for listening and hanging out. If you guys want to share your answers to any of the questions that we talked about today, please feel free to do so. We'd love
Hmm.
to hear your responses. The best place to do that is, of course, on Twitter using our hashtag Online OffStream Pod, and then tagging us.
Yes.
And of course, we're going to be on our own individual socials, talking, of course, about podcasts and stream, and just doing our normal content stuff as well.
Hmm.
So, Razzie, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and here on the podcast. All with the same handle, Razzie Eliza. And where can you be found?
I can be found on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, sometimes TikTok, and I'm still trying to get back into the YouTube thing. All with at Estella M. Stone. Thank you guys so much,
We
and we'll
love
see you in the
you.
next
We
one. We
appreciate
love you so much.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.